Think of the most painful sentence your parent ever said to you. You probably remembered it instantly. That is the power of a word spoken at the wrong moment, by the wrong person, in the most vulnerable years of your life.
Most parents who damage their children never shout. They never hit. They simply speak in ordinary sentences, in everyday moments. A 2025 study found that childhood verbal abuse raises the risk of poor adult mental health by 64%, the same risk as physical abuse. Harvard's McLean Hospital confirms this. These neurological changes mirror the damage caused by physical abuse. Today, we are going through 7 phrases that sound completely normal and leave wounds that last a lifetime. Words are not just sounds. They are architecture. Every sentence a parent speaks becomes a brick. In the structure, a child will live inside for the rest of his life. The brain of a young child is like wet cement. Repeated phrases literally reshape the prefrontal cortex and overactivate the brain's fear center. The most dangerous thing about toxic parenting language is not that it is violent. It is that most of it sounds completely normal. Let's talk about phrase 1. I never wanted children. You ruined my life. This is the deepest wound on our list, and it only takes 7 words. Even spoken once, even said in a moment of anger, the parent immediately regrets. This phrase strikes at the absolute foundation of a child's identity. Children build their entire sense of self from the messages their primary caregiver sends them. And when that message is, "You were never wanted," the child does not think the parent is angry. They think they are unwanted. A child told they were unwanted develops disorganized attachment, a profound inability to trust intimacy, because the person who was supposed to be safest became the source of the deepest threat. Now, phrase 2. 3 words a parent should never say. You're stupid. You're useless. You're a disappointment. Brené Brown draws a critical line. Guilt says, I did something bad. Shame says, I am bad. When a child is called a disappointment to the entire family, they don't just feel guilty. They feel ashamed of their whole existence. Stanford research confirms, label a child as stupid, and they stop trying, not because they are lazy, because trying harder only proves it more publicly. And then, there is phrase 3, a sentence most of us have heard, maybe at the dinner table, maybe after an argument, maybe quietly, on an ordinary evening. After everything I've sacrificed for you. Weaponizing sacrifice creates guilt-based love. The child stops feeling grateful and starts feeling responsible for everything. These children become adults who cannot set boundaries, because every boundary feels like a betrayal of a debt they never chose. The parent meant it as love, but the child received it as a debt that followed them into everything, because love was never supposed to come with a price tag. Stop for a moment, because this next one you might recognize. You're going to turn out just like your father. Not a warning, a verdict. Love one parent, betray the other. Children placed in this conflict show higher risks of anxiety, depression, and something deeper, identity confusion. All right, let's talk about phrase 5. Why can't you be more like your sister? Comparison does not motivate. It humiliates. And humiliation does not produce growth. It produces shame. The child feels less valuable. The sibling becomes a rival, not by choice, by comparison. And the parent who made that comparison becomes someone to resent. This is what comparison does. It does not motivate. It poisons. Slowly, quietly. And it builds one belief. Love must be earned by outperforming someone else. Phrase 6. And this one lives in the body. You're getting fat. Look at yourself. The body is the most intimate part of identity, and a parent just made it. A crime scene. Here is what makes this different. The child cannot escape their body. Every mirror, every meal, every physical sensation becomes a trigger. Not sometimes, every single day. Research confirms this. Parental body commentary directly links to disordered eating in adolescence, in adulthood. The words leave the mouth. In one moment, the body carries them for a lifetime. Before we close, one final phrase. The one that taught a child that their voice did not matter. And that bottled silence does not stay silent forever. It implodes as depression or explodes as anger. Not because they are broken, but because no one ever told them that their voice was safe, that they were allowed to speak, that the world would not end if they did. If you find our videos interesting, please like, comment, and subscribe to Cognitive Ease. Press the bell icon so you never miss an update. All 7 phrases share one common thread. They collapse the distance between what a child did and what a child is. From existential rejection to guilt-based love, from identity labeling to body shame. Each wound is built the same way, through words spoken in ordinary moments by the people a child trusted most. The science is clear. The damage is real. But so is the path forward. Awareness breaks cycles. Repair is always possible. And every child deserves to hear that they are enough, exactly as they are. If this video changed how you think about parenting, share it with someone who needs to hear this today. See you in the next video.